What is going on, guys? It is Thursday, December 1st, 2022, or it's Friday, depending on whatever day you're watching this. We don't discriminate around here. All right, you can watch this whatever day you want. That's why it's recorded and it's not live. So we don't discriminate when it comes to that. It's a great week, though. You know why it's a great week? Well, it's always a great week for me because on Thursdays is my Friday. You know, and you guys watching this tomorrow, it's your Friday, and so the weekend is almost here, which is great news for everybody, even if you don't even like college football or like me or like anything to do with this show. you know just enjoy the weekend. But if you do like the show and you do kind of like me, uh I got good news for you. All right, first, good news: LSU gets to play football this weekend. All right, and some people, me included, all right, around September, didn't think this was a possibility. All right, so we're thankful for that, first of all. All right, so we get to watch another week of LSU football and a bowl game. But this week, more importantly, because LSU gets to play for a championship. Yeah, they got no chance to win it. All right, that's not the point. The point is they get to try. They play the games for a reason, guys. All right, so don't be like me. All right, don't be a Debbie Downer. You go out there on Saturday and you cheer your butts off. All right, don't be like me and just assume the worst. All right, because unfortunately that's what I do. All right, I can't help it. It's a condition. I'm seeing a doctor about it. All right, but if you're still watching after a minute and a half of this video, uh, I got a task for you guys. All right, if you're watching this still, it means you're dedicated. Because sometimes I don't even watch myself past a minute and a half. So if you're still watching, uh, you're an all-time tier list guy, like, or woman or kid. I don't care. I don't discriminate views either. All right, but I need you to do something for me. All right, if you're still watching, all right, I need you to subscribe to the channel, guys. I don't even know what the percentage is, but it's not a lot of y'all watch the video and aren't subscribed to the channel. You know, we gotta do better. As a group, I gotta do better. I gotta produce better content to get more y'all to watch it, and I need more y'all to subscribe and like the thing. When it's kind of good. So we can grow the channel, so I can produce better content. It's like the circle of life of the YouTube world right now that I'm living in. But I'd love to see you guys like the video. First of all, leave a comment. All right, leave a comment if you want. Go out on a limb here. Leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel. It's completely free, guys. Completely free. That's the first thing. Second of all, I came and started this thing and recorded it. All right, I'm recording this thing right now live. All right, and I had no idea what I was going to talk about. Obviously, I was going to talk about a little bit about LSU, but I had like no game plan of what I was going to talk about or anything like that. So you guys just bear with me because we're just winging it tonight. All right, and who knows, it might produce better content. All right, that being said, obviously LSU just got their behinds cut by A&M last weekend, ruined all chances of making the playoffs, all that fun stuff, dropped 9 freaking spots in the college football playoff rankings, and it has just been a mess of a week, right? Filled with disappointment, all week, just Debbie Downer, don't want to talk to nobody, get out my face, like it's not the time type mentality, all right? But that being said, when those people like me who were kind of down and out, they start thinking about things, and then they're like, hey, it's not even that bad, guys. We're playing for SEC championship on Saturday. I had the chance to go. I didn't. Not because I didn't want to go, because I had bad seats, all right? And I didn't want to sit on the roof of Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. But if not for that, I would have went. All right. So if somebody want to give me free ticket, hey, 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 y'all know where to find me. Y'all know where to find me. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. If somebody wanted to donate their tickets that maybe didn't want to go to the game, I don't live too far from Atlanta, guys. That being said, LSU is playing a football game on Saturday. All right. They're playing a very good team. Very good team. Y'all might have heard of them, the Georgia Bulldogs. Yeah, number 1 team in the country, undefeated, hadn't lost a regular season game in like 45 years. Full of D1 or not D1, NFL first round talent. You know that team. You know the team that just murders everybody. Been favored by double digits every single game. Uh, yeah, that's the team LSU has to play and beat on Saturday to win the SEC championship. Now, if you're like me, right, you don't think there's much of a possibility, but you know what? There's people unlike me here watching, and so I'm gonna transform, all right, into somebody who's not me, and I'm gonna tell you why LSU is gonna beat Georgia's behinds on Saturday, and we're gonna draw up a conclusion, like how the heck LSU is gonna get this done. All right. So, Georgia's last loss, last year's SEC championship game. You know, Georgia hasn't won an SEC championship since 2017. That's kind of crazy, right? Like, as good as they've been, they've never won the SEC. Like, it's just wild to think. Like, Alabama beat them all those years, and then last year they won the championship but lost the SEC. You know, it was one of those things, you know? We're not going to, it's not a big deal. But last year, Alabama blew this team out. It wasn't even close. Like, it wasn't even close. I think it was 45 to, no, 41-24 or some crazy stat like that. Bryce Young threw for like 4 bands on him. Like it's doable. Can LSU do it? I don't know. Possibly. Like I said, that's why they play the game. Good news is, though, if you're watching this on Thursday, they announced Jane Daniels, Jared Bernard Converse, and Josh Williams are all going to play on Saturday. So that's a big ups. Who knows how healthy Jane Daniels is? But, you know, I think they wouldn't run him out there if he was, like, severely injured. You know, obviously you're playing for a lot here. You win. This is what's crazy for LSU, right? The scenarios for LSU going into this game is LSU wins. All right, first of all, they beat the number one team in the country, right? They still have 3 losses. All right, so they're not going to the playoffs. But you jump from where you're at like 14, you jump wherever, and you're playing for a Sugar Bowl. Playing for the Sugar Bowl in the New Year's Six. Like, that wasn't even a possibility, like, 2 weeks ago. You know? Like, very, very slim chance that happening. But, and then if you lose, you know, you have 4 losses, you're going to play in some crappy bowl game in Florida, you know? Like, the ups and the downs of this game, like, you could finish the season. You can literally lose the last 3 games of this season, finish 9-5, and it looks like you had a terrible year. But like, if you just look in hindsight, you're like, what? Like LSU was really good this year. It's like, dude, they finished 9-5. Like, you could go with that, or you can go with like LSU beats Georgia, plays for the Sugar Bowl, finishes the season 11-3. Like, that'd be wild, but it's a possibility. Like the highs and the lows, like the middle ground is nowhere to be found here. Right? There's only ups and there's only downs. All right, there's no, we're just coasting along. All right, there's something new at LSU every single week, and that's what we're here to report on. All right, got this cool ass hat this week. Man, that thing looks good. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Just a little shout out to the cap, in the comments if you're still watching. Like, we're at 8 minutes, so if you were watching at 8 minutes, you are a family member or a troll. All right, you're not real. All right. You're either a family member, and shout out to all the family members that support the show. If you're still watching, thank you. Keep watching, please, to the end. But like I said, man, LSU, like 17-point dogs right now. The way they're gonna win this football game is Jane Daniels is gonna have to play out of his mind. LSU's defense is good enough to like hang in there with Georgia, but is LSU's offense good enough to score on Georgia? Like, Georgia doesn't give up touchdowns. Like, it's the wildest thing. You look at like all, you know, I went and looked kind of like at Georgia's stats this week, and it's like they're great at everything. Like, there's not one thing: offensive efficiency, defensive efficiency, passing yards, rushing yards, stopping the run, stopping the pass, points per game, all that. They're amazing at it. All right, and if you want me to sit here and tell you LSU's gonna win, I don't know. Probably not. Like I said, but that's why I'm here, is to draw up a scenario in your head. So on Saturday you wake up and you're like, hey, that guy from LSU Recruiting HQ, that man told me this is how we're gonna win the football game, and that's what we're drawing up right now. Like I said, Jaden Daniels, Bryce Young last year threw for 400 yards on this defense. Secondary's got a lot better. All right, but I like the matchups really. I like our wide receivers versus their DBs. It's just a matter of Jaden Daniels gonna have time to make plays with his feet, to keep drives alive, and like exit. Like I feel like LSU doesn't execute. Like they have to be so perfect on offense, right? Because they don't hit big plays like that. So they have to execute so much more than other teams that do hit big explosive plays, and that's what it's going to take on Saturday to beat this team. You're not going to be able to score inside the 20s, just marching down the field 75 yards every single time. You're going to have to pop like a 40-yard run. John Emery's going to have to break one. Keyshawn Butte is going to have to get behind the defense and hit a deep ball. Like, that's the only way you're keeping up with this team. And I feel like if you go out there and you punch Georgia in the mouth, like right out the gate, and you let them know, like, hey, we're here, I think you got a chance. Then like if we see like a defensive struggle to start off, and then like Georgia finally finds their footing, and then I don't like the chances if that's the case. I like LSU coming out, getting the first points on the board, a touchdown. A field goal is not gonna cut it in these games. Missouri kicked 5 field goals. The closest game Georgia has played all season was against Missouri, and Missouri settled for 5 field goals. They had 2 drives inside the 10, 3 drives inside the 20, and they all finished with field goals, and that is exactly why they lost. If they turn one of those into a touchdown, it is literally a win in Missouri's book. So it's like, what is going on here? You've got to score touchdowns. You know it. They know it. It's going to put a lot of pressure on your offense to execute, guys. And like I said, this offense from Georgia is not like the old offense from Georgia where it's kind of stale and they kind of just run the ball at you. No, they sling that rock. They got the baddest tight ends in the world, right? 2 superhuman people. And you got to find a way to guard them people, by the way. And then they got Stetson Bennett who's playing confident. They got 5-star running backs, 5-star everything. Number 1 recruiting classes like every year. Yeah, they do stuff like that at Georgia, I guess. But that's not the point. Like I said, we're here to talk about LSU and LSU winning the football game. All right, and this is how. All right, your defense is gonna have to go toe to toe. Well, we already knew that. You're gonna have to keep it in a lower scoring game, but you're gonna have to pop some big ones, man. You're gonna have to pop some big yards plays, like John Emery's gonna have to bust like a 60-yarder. Like, it's gotta happen. You're not gonna be able to just march down the field and pick this defense apart, kind of like you've done, like where you just dink and dunk your way down the field. It's just not gonna happen. You're not gonna be able to execute against these types of players that efficiently. All right, it's just not possible. To sustain that for 4 quarters. You got to get out to a big lead, all right, and you got to make Georgia sweat. Georgia, in the back of their minds, knows that they're in the playoffs no matter what, right? Win or lose this game, they are in the playoffs. Maybe that creeps into their minds throughout the preparation. Oh, my God. Preparation week. Jeez, I butchered that. But anyway, so maybe that creeps into their mind. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe Kirby's got this team like in full go Terminator mode, and they come out and roll LSU by 40. Then it is what it is. You just got to take the good with the bad at this point. LSU ruined any chance of this game, meaning something as far as playoff-wise last week by laying an absolute egg in College Station. Still pissed off about it. Still don't want to talk about it. So, that being said, man, LSU playing Georgia is an amazing feature for the first year under Brian Kelly. Just remember that. Remember all the good things that happened this year. And don't worry about what happens on Saturday. Don't worry about what happened last week. All right? Because either way, it's all in the past. And it's going to work itself out anyway. This is Brian Kelly's first year, man. It's only going to be up from here. And if this is the floor, coming off of a 39 scholarship player team, picking it up, winning 9 games, making it to the SEC championship game, I will take that if that is the floor. And this is more of what we can come to see when LSU starts filling this roster out and getting things done in the recruiting and building this roster where it needs to be to compete for championships. And they're already competing for a championship in year 1. Maybe not the national championship, but either way, this is winning the SEC is not a small feature, and it would be a huge accomplishment if LSU was able to somehow win this game on Saturday. Man, that is all I got for you guys today. If you're not already, man, please, 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 please go subscribe to the channel. Go like the post. Let me know what you guys think, man. I had a good time tonight. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and we will be back here on Sunday breaking down the game and looking forward to what LSU bowl game we'll be watching in January or December. You guys have a great night.